Hello sports fans, welcome to Super Sports Central. Today we have my Week 9 NFL recap. So starting off, diving right in on Thursday Night Football. The Colts dominated against the Jets 45-30. The Colts had the game under control the entire game, however the Jets were able to put up 30 points. Colts running back Jonathan Taylor had an outstanding game, 19 carries for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jets quarterback, who was their backup, but he started this game because Zach Wilson was injured. Mike White left the game with an injury, so third stringer Josh Johnson came in, and he had a solid game in relief of White. He went 27 of 41, 317 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Moving on to Thursday's games, we have the Browns dominating against the Bengals. Joe Burrow had a bad game, going 28 of 40 for 282 yards and 2 interceptions. Nick Chubb ran wild over the Bengals. He had 14 carries for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Broncos beat the Cowboys with ease, 30-16. The score was not as close as the game was not as competitive as the score may suggest. The Cowboys didn't score until the fourth quarter, and the game was essentially all Broncos. Broncos' Tim Patrick had a solid game, 4 receptions, 85 yards, and 1 touchdown. The Giants beat the Raiders 23-16. The Giants running back Devontae Booker had a great game, replacing Saquon Barkley, who's still out with the ankle injury. The Giants are hopeful he may return in Week 11 after their Week 10 bye week. And Booker was 21 carries for 99 yards and 3 catches for 20 yards. Giants safety Xavier McKinney had a key pick 6 on Derek Carr, and he also picked off Derek Carr later in the game, which was a key turning point in the game. So now the Giants' defense is looking like we expected it to start the season. So they dominated against the Panthers. They held the Chiefs to 20 points, and now they held the Raiders to 16 points. So they're looking impressive. The Dolphins beat the Texans 17-9 in the battle of one-win teams. Obviously, one team got 2 wins, which was the Dolphins. The teams combined for 9 turnovers. Tyrod Taylor threw 3 interceptions. Jacoby Brissett threw 2 picks. Miami lost 3 fumbles, and the Texans lost 1. And if you add all that up, 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 is 9. So that's 9 turnovers in the game. And that's kind of what you can expect. You can expect a sloppy game from 2 bad teams. Jalen Waddle had a good game, despite 2 bad teams playing. 8 receptions for 83 yards. The Falcons beat the Saints. The Saints actually opted to go with Trevor Siemian at quarterback for this game, even though Taysom Hill was active and healthy. Siemian went 25 of 41 for 249 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Patriots beat Sam Darnold and the struggling Panthers 24-6. Stephon Gilmore had a revenge game. He actually had a pick in his revenge game. Sam Darnold had a horrible game. 16 of 33 for 172 yards and 3 interceptions. The Jaguars upset the Bills 9-6. So there was not a single touchdown scored in this game. It was all field goals. And Jaguars linebacker Josh Allen got the best of Bills quarterback Josh Allen in this matchup. He sacked him the first time a player has ever sacked another player with the same last name. He intercepted him first time with the same name too. And he recovered his fumble. First time that's ever happened with the same name as well. So that's pretty crazy. The Ravens came back to defeat the Vikings 34-31 in overtime. Justin Jefferson had a good game. He went 3 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown. And the Vikings took the kickoff to open the second half to the house. Jackson had a great game. 27 of 41 for 266 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And he was the game's leading rusher, 21 carries for 120 yards. The Chargers bounced back to defeat the Eagles 27-24. Justin Herbert had a good game. He went 32 of 38 with 2 touchdowns, and he had 5 rushes for 14 yards and a touchdown. Eagles rookie wide receiver Devontae Smith had a great game. 5 catches for 116 yards and a touchdown. And Chargers running back Austin Eckler had a clutch run to put the Chargers in, well, they were already in field goal range, but to make it an easier field goal for them so they can win the game on a last-second field goal. The Chiefs beat the Rodgers-less Packers 13-7. So typically when two high-flying offenses meet, you don't expect a game totaling 20 points. But that's what we got. Jordan Love made his first NFL start. He had a decent game, 19 of 34 for 190 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. He actually had more yards than Patrick Mahomes in this game, like passing yards, than Mahomes. The Cardinals dominated against the 49ers with a backup quarterback and without their best receiver. They won the game at 31-17. So Colt McCoy started for the Cardinals because Kyler Murray was out with an ankle injury. And they were also without arguably the best receiver in football, DeAndre Hopkins. McCoy was good replacing Murray. He went 22 of 26, 249 yards, and 1 touchdown. James Conner had an outstanding game replacing Chase Edmonds after he left in the first quarter with an ankle injury. Conner took advantage of the opportunity, 21 carries for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns, and 5 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown. He now leads all players in the league in terms of touchdowns scored. The Titans beat the Rams on Sunday Night Football. The Titans were without Derrick Henry for the game, so that caused a lot of people, including me, to think the Rams would have an easier time winning, but the Titans actually won. Matthew Stafford did not have that good of a game. He went 31 of 48 for 294 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. He got better in the second half, but he had a bad first half. And Monday Night Football, last game of the week, the Steelers beat the Bears 29-27. Bears quarterback Justin Fields had a great game, 17 of 29 for 291 yards and 1 touchdown. He also threw an interception, and he had 8 rushes for 45 yards. The Bears were really close to a game-winning field goal. It was a 65-yard attempt, but the kick was off the crossbar. So, similar to how Justin Tucker's 66-yarder went in, it hit the crossbar and bounced in, except this kick hit the front of the crossbar and obviously didn't bounce up and in, causing the Steelers to win the game. So that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, and comment. And for the latest NFL injury updates, make sure to go check out Sports News episode 62.